I sent 2 comics to a facilitator to get a signature added to books that were already signed and already graded by CGC. Well, stay tuned as we open up this box to find out what books did I get signed and if I kept the grade that was on there previously. Welcome back, comic book fans. It's Rusty again with Collector Auctions, and in today's episode, I just got back this right here. There's a box. It looks like it's from CGC, but it's not. It's from a comic book facilitator who took my books to TorpedoCon earlier this year to get an artist to sign both books in this order. These books had already been graded by CGC and signed by another artist, and I wanted to add a second artist to these books, and I took a chance because they were both really good grades. I had 9.8s on both of them. And this is my first time I've ever used a facilitator through the mail and had them go to the con in my place. Now, I've dealt with this particular dealer, this facilitator, in person at several cons over the last couple of years. So that was always my experience, and they've always done a really decent job. But I've never actually sent them the books and let them get the book signed for me instead of me actually going there and having them walk with me and witness the signature. Well, I'm rambling a little bit, but as I said, I just got it back. We're going to open this up, and then once I open it up, I'll talk about the facilitator, and we'll talk about the artist that I got on these books as well. So, short video. I'm going to try to be quick about this. I've got the knife ready to go. We'll jump right into this. Let's go ahead and open it up. And what I will say is that this seemed like it took a pretty long process, but the con was over a while ago, and it seemed like it took a long time for them to finish up. But there's more than just the one artist at this con, and I know this facilitator sets up a lot of different smaller shows, and they do the facilitation for CGC. CGC won't go to some of these cons, but this facilitator will, and they will set up in their place. So here we go. Here's the box. It is very nicely done with the bubble wrap. It is a big giant bubble of bubble wrap. Let's put the box down, and we'll cut open this right here. And this was submitted to the facilitator, so I didn't have a way to track this. This was not under my account, so I just had to sit back and wait for these books to get back in. And luckily they finally did. And I'm still trying to find a way to get into this right here. All right, there we go. It's starting to give now. Finally able to pull off some of this bubble wrap. This is a lot of bubble wrap, but I appreciate the security. There's a lot of tape. A lot of tape here. Okay, we're into the inner bubble wrap. We've gone down in size to the smaller bubble wrap, and yet more tape. Lots of tape. So hang on. Okay. Finally, we are getting down to unwrapping this now. And this is interesting. For even more protection, they put both books in, and they taped this too. My God, lots of tape. Maybe they do this so the books don't get separated when they're putting the orders together, but there's a lot of tape. But you can see they use some Postal Service mailing envelopes, and these are actually really nice. I've used these before to help protect the books just in case they get damaged, wet gets in if it rains or it gets soaked or somehow. So let's get right into this. I think what I'm going to do is fast forward a little bit right here, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've got the envelopes basically open. Let me open them up just a little bit more. I don't want to see the grade yet. I'm really nervous. That's the biggest thing, as I'm worried about retaining that grade. And what I'm trying to do is open these up so I don't see that, and I'm turning them upside down so I don't see the smaller grade on the back. But we've almost got this done. There we go. We finally got the books out. Now, the first thing I want to tell you is that both books are the same book. And I had the writer sign these books a couple years ago. And I ended up with great grades on this book. It's one of my favorite books from the 80s, mostly because of the artwork. The writing was fantastic, but I loved the artwork. And let me just show you the first one right here. And they're the same book. It's the same one, so I'll show you both of them, but we got to check the grades out on both of them. Here it is. It is Electra Assassin #1 with Frank Miller doing the writing and Bill Sienkiewicz doing the art. And here's the story. I used Capture Collectibles to facilitate this. And they did a really good job of getting this back to me. The process of sending the books they helped me with that. And I had gotten this book signed a couple years ago by Frank Miller. And you can see his autograph right there in the black. And I sent both of these copies in. I cannot remember if it was a mail-in. I think it was, I mailed these in. Actually, it wasn't an in-person signing. And I got them back, and I got 9/8 on them. And I knew I always wanted to get Bill Sienkiewicz on these books. It's some of my favorite art from the 80s, back when I was in college. And Bill Sienkiewicz 2 years ago at Heroes Con was going to be the premier artist, the main guest. He was the first one that signed up, and they advertised the heck out of it. My wife and I was excited about going down and seeing him for a second time. And this book, both of these books were going to go with me, and I was going to go down there, have them cracked open, and have him sign them. Well, he canceled, which he's very prone to do from what I understand. He didn't show up for this year's Heroes Con, even though I didn't make it. And I thought, okay, I still want to get these books signed. I have met Bill Sienkiewicz there. I don't mind sending this book to a facilitator to get him signed. So Capture Collectibles is going to be at Torpedo Con. I figured, okay, let's do this as an experiment and find out. So, finally got the book back. Here it is. You can see that beautiful red Bill Sienkiewicz artwork signature right there on top. That really looks good compared to Frank Miller's black. I think they match up as a nice pair. I'm holding my breath. Let's see if we kept the grade. Yay! All right. That's awesome. That's the way I want to start right here. Kept that 9.8. This is a tough book on the back. On a lot of the copies that I've had over the years is this gray tone border on the back. Actually, will be very prone to color rub. And I've had to watch that sending these out. I was kind of nervous on these to begin with, but these have pressed out really good, and got the 9.8 for a second time on this book. And let me just take a look at it. Yeah, that's actually really spectacular by Bill Sienkiewicz. He used one of those paint pens, a red paint pen. Let me go forward right there. I thought it was a red Sharpie, but it's not. It's a very solid red paint pen, and that looks absolutely gorgeous. All right, that means let's see what the second one was. And no surprise, like I said, it's the same book. You can see Frank's autograph was really big and bold on that one, and then there's Bill's autograph right above him, just practically the same as the other one. And let's see if we kept the 9.8 on this one. Dagnabbit, that's awesome, baby. That right there makes me really happy, because I was super nervous sending it in. And not only did I send it in and give my books to them, Capture Collectibles, to handle, they also had to crack these open. Now, I paid a little extra for them to crack them open, but they are a CGC witness, so it was okay. But I was still nervous. That's a lot of extra handling on these books. And if I'd sent raws in, I would have put them in my own bag and board with my own windows cut out. and they would have been very protected and then just submitted to CGC that way via Capture Collectibles. But in this case, they had to crack these open. They had to probably put them into probably a CGC window bag, and then it had to be taken to Las Vegas to TorpedoCon, and Bill Sienkiewicz then would have had to sign it. And having the fact that he used a paint pen and this came out so good, I'm really happy with this process. I will in the future endeavor into sending out some of my previously signed and graded books to Capture Collectibles and let them take to cons for me. In fact, I've got a couple of books that Jason Aaron has written that I've gotten the artist to sign that I'm considering sending in. By the time this video comes out, it will be after the con, but when I'm filming, it's definitely enough time for me to send it in to the New York Comic Con and have Capture Collectibles take that up there and possibly get Jason Aaron to sign a couple of those books as well. We'll find out if I do that or I just wait for a future signing from Jason Aaron himself where I can go in person. It's been a while, but I have gotten him in person in the past. So, I'm rambling a little bit, but thumbs up, Capture Collectibles. You get a big endorsement on this, and I hope you enjoy the free promo that you're getting out of this. I definitely endorse you guys on this, and I would definitely do it again. So, guys, that is it. I got 2 great books here, and I'm just going to be the huckster that I am, and I'm going to put it out there. One of these is definitely for sale, so if you're interested in this, definitely reach out to me at collectorauctions@yahoo.com, or check out my listings on eBay and Shortboxed. This book will eventually go up on both of those platforms, but if you see the channel, you can definitely reach out to me or DM me at Instagram, Collector Auctions, or you can check out what I have for sale in the eBay store or on Shortbox. I'm wearing that. I'm plugging Shortbox as well, guys. I am just a shield today. That's all I am. But definitely leave me a comment. Let me know what you think of these books. And if you've ever gotten to meet Frank Miller or Bill Sienkiewicz in person, I have a couple times on each at this point. So I'm super glad to get this book signed now and got a great PC book. And I've got a great book for somebody else out there as well. So that's it, guys. But before we leave, definitely give me a like, slap the subscribe, and click on that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of the episodes that I put out each and every week. Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 3 p.m. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Take care, and remember, every comic has a story.